Good afternoon, everybody. A very warm welcome to all the donors and well-wishers of Akhand Jyoti. We are very excited to have this opportunity to talk to you all virtually. The idea behind this meeting is to give you an update about what's happening in one of your favorite NGOs, and also just answer any questions that you might have and give you some ideas on how to engage with us in the future. So my name is Ramya, and I am one of the co-founders of an organization called BridgeAble in Singapore. I've been associated with Akhand Jyoti for the past 5+ years, had the opportunity to visit them. I'm really, the idea of doing such good work in Bihar and such meaningful intervention resonated so much with me that I've continued to associate with them in every capacity possible. I'm very excited to see some of my friends here, Anisha and Bhaskar, and a lot of new people as well. So wonderful to know everybody. I would like to introduce some of the speakers today. So Jayesh, whom a lot of you might know, is on the advisory board. He's a multifaceted personality, and one of the things that he does is to be on the advisory board of Akhand Jyoti. He was the one who introduced Akhand Jyoti to us in Singapore. And we have Mritunjay Tiwary, who's the founder trustee and the very, very dynamic and hardworking founder with some very inspiring stories about how he got involved with this project in the first place. Then we have Mr. Samrat Ganguly, who is the senior vice president and who looks after funding and partnerships. And last but not least, Chhaya is joining us from one of the beneficiaries' homes. I've had the pleasure of meeting Chhaya in person. She's one of the optometricians who's been, again, associated with the hospital for a very long time. And she is joining us from a live location from one of the beneficiaries' homes. So I would like to start off this afternoon by requesting Mritunjay to give all of us a bit of an update on what happened in the last fiscal year and what's the latest with Akhand Jyoti. Over to you, Mritunjay.
Thank you, Ramya, and thank you everyone for joining this call, taking out time to understand a little bit more about the work we've been able to do in the past few years. We've all been in touch through various emails and updates which time and again go out from our communication team. But last financial year we lost about in fiscal year 21-22, we lost about 3 months due to COVID. Hospital was literally closed. That was the time when we had the second wave. But despite that, we were able to close out with 76,000 sight restoring surgeries, of which 80% was free to the patient. We also in the process screened and gave primary eye care to 500,000 people in the financial year 21-22. And during this period, over 60,000 spectacles were also dispensed, despite the fact that there were a number of restrictions on the way you engage with people, go out in the villages due to the COVID era. And in the same period, we opened up 13 new vision centers. And these vision centers, I would just like to take 30 seconds to narrate. These vision centers are primarily small eye clinics located at the village level and primary catering to the local population for primary eye care, dispensing of spectacles, and referring people for advanced treatments to the nearest Akhand Jyoti surgical center. So 13 new vision centers we were able to open, and it is all thanks to supporters like all of you who are on the call that this was possible in the last financial year. On the Football to Eyeball program, that is the girls' education program, we now have over 400 girls in the system, and 150 have already got employment. And importantly, last year was also when the first batch of leadership girls who were into our leadership pipeline development, they completed their MBAs. So 16 girls completed their MBAs last year, and 10 girls have actually come into the leadership program, and they have moved into various supervisory and managerial positions. At the same time, a key aspect which we have been trying to crack is how do we get out of the school girls also to participate, who are most, although their enrollment sadly is done in a government school, but they don't go to a school. They're basically raising buffaloes or looking after household chores, but they don't come to school. So last year we started a small coaching center for this group of girls aged between 10 to 15 years of age who are out of school, so that we could give them a core competence in basic educational aspects like English, mathematics, science subjects, etc. So this will enable them to have a crack at our optometry course. They can be eligible for engagement after a few years. So it is, you can say, we're going to the bottom of the pyramid. That's the way to say. That's the objective. That was the objective of the coaching center. With all these things which we were able to do, there was one sad tinge which happened last year. Our founder chairman, Pandit Ramesh Chandra Shukla Babaji, who was inspirational in starting everything, he left his physical self last year in August. At the age of 105. It was his inspiration that motivated me and all the others to start Akhand Jyoti and start this girls program as well as the eye health program. But his inspiration continues to help us go forward, and in the current year, we'll be able to up our numbers by 20 to 25%. The impact will rise by 20 to 25%.
Thank you for sharing what Akhand Jyoti went through during COVID and some of the new initiatives you have taken. Great to hear that. I would like to request Jayesh Bhai to share some of his observations and his thoughts based on his recent visit to Akhand Jyoti, please.
Yeah, thank you so much, Ramya, and welcome all of you. Thank you for attending today. I think most important first part I want to say is that we came through COVID, which was a very, very tough period for Mastichak and all the satellite hospitals. And Mritunjay and his team, really kudos to them that they came out of that, and now we have a new and improved situation because of the COE. So as all of you know, there is a new hospital being built in Mastichak, and of course I'd like Mritunjay to give you a little bit more speeds and feeds on it. But the construction of that has started, so I was very happy to, when I went to the site, to see that the foundation had already been built, had been laid, and so obviously the construction is continuing through the September, October of next year, when we will open this new hospital, which will, again, my understanding is double the number of surgeries that we can perform.
Now, I had the pleasure of visiting the hospital a few years ago, and what excited me most was the football to eyeball program and interacting with the girls. We stayed in the guest house, which was right next to the hostel, me and my BridgeAble partner Shobha, and we interacted a lot with the girls. And one common theme that came through was all of them were so happy to be there. They were excited to have the chance to have a very different future where they were going to, kind of call the shots and stand on their own legs. Of course, Chhaya and her sister's story is one of the most inspiring stories that can come out of, Akhand Jyoti. So I'm really happy Chhaya is here. I would love to hear from Chhaya about her experience. And also, it would be great to hear from the beneficiaries who are hosting Chhaya today.
Greeting from Akhand Jyoti. I am Chhaya Tiwary. I joined Akhand Jyoti in 2012, almost 10 years back, through Football to Bible project. And this was a life-changing decision in my life. Football to Bible project is a way to change the life, to educate, to skill, and to give employment and empower the rural girls. For me, according to empowerment, to stand for the self and fight for the right, and stand for the people. So today I'm with Dada and Dadi, who is our beneficiary. I will request to Dada and Dadi, अब बताइए कि आपको ऑपरेशन के पहले अब बाद में कैसे लागल रोजा?
ठीक है, पहले छानिया रहता है सर जी,
हाँ
ठीक है ना।
हाँ
आया, ऑपरेशन हुआ मोती चौक जाने के लिए। अच्छा, ऑपरेशन करा के आया तो वो बेड से अपन दवा दाई दिया, ठीक से अपन किया, सेवा सजम अपन बढ़िया से किया। अब बढ़िया से लौकता, खेलत है, खाते हैं, लेकर सके जल्दी रहत है, सब बढ़िया सब।
So she's saying she can walk independent, she can eat and she can see and she can handle the kids at home and she can go in the field and now she's very happy and saying thank you. So I will also introduce to Dada who is also our beneficiary. दादा आपको कुछ बोले के बा?
सर जी,
हाँ?
ठीक है, नमस्ते।
हाँ दादा बोली कुछ कहे?
दूरी जमा बहुत दूरा लोग करते हैं, ऑपरेशन भय तब अब ठीक में लोग करते हैं, नदी से लेकर दूरी तक ले।
अरे कुछ
आपका चिकाई
he's saying there is a field there they work I think almost there and this is their home and this is their home and now says they are saying they can work easily in the field and they are happy, they can see near and distance, so saying thank you once again, keep supporting us.
So wonderful. I wish I could give Dadi a hug like you did, Chhaya. Really nice to hear from them. So I would like to request Samrat to give us a bit of an idea about the fundraising initiatives and how you plan to achieve the monetary contributions and support that's required to make this a reality.
Good afternoon, Ramya, and good afternoon all. The first thing which we have done is we have developed a 5-year strategy paper for fundraising, which is aligned with the larger goal or the mission 2030 and the expansion that we are thinking. And we are in the process of developing a structured fundraising unit. And one of the main thing on it is we have diversified our fundraising channels. Now, presently, we are getting most of our fundraising from institutional donors. We wanted to deepen that pocket and corporate fundraising. That also we are now moving towards a process-driven things. And one of the most important addition is the retail, like the individual giving. Like in that, we have again segmented it into HNI and the regular giving program. And we have started a pilot in 3 cities of India, like in Mumbai, Pune, and Bangalore, where people are giving opportunity to give a regular commitment of 600 and above for a long time period. And for that, we have launched a program called India for Bharat, because if you see, India is divided into 2 parts. One part where we live, like Mumbai, Bangalore, Chennai, where all facilities are there. Another part is internet, like Mastichak, where 4 years back there was no light. There are many such places in Bihar, UP, Jharkhand, or Odisha where there is no facility. So we are urging the common people, because India has a huge population, to come forward and give us a sustainable small amount on a long-term basis. And as a goal, we wanted, like in the next 5 years, we wanted to enroll 1 lakh people who can support us on a regular basis, and we can think about doing further expansion in future. So that is one happening. We will be diversifying in the next years in digital fundraising, in other fundraising methods also, so that we are not dependent on only one source. And last but not the least, I would like to thank all our donors, like the past donors from Singapore and India, because who has helped us to reach over there. We will be needing their support in a much higher way, not only by funding, but I would request them that if they can form a small group of giving circle, like in the name of Friends of Akhand Jyoti, and help us to reach this target together, because we believe you are all ambassador for us, like you, Ramya ji, Jayesh ji, all are ambassador. Like we want them also to be ambassador and take us to the new height. Thank you.
I think we'll have questions here. I think I can already see Bhaskar unmuting. Go ahead, Bhaskar.
Great.
No, I didn't have a question as such, but I just want to share an association that I continue to keep with Shashi Arora of Akhand Jyoti, who I had met in Singapore 5 years back at your residence, Jayesh ji. Are you able to hear me clearly?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So then I've been in touch with her, and in fact, I have asked her to be an inspirational speaker at a certain, for certain other institutions. Like there is a school for the underprivileged called Parekh in Bangalore, and a lot of the children coming through COVID were feeling very rattled about their future and what they can do and what kind of careers they can pursue and so on. And I've been arranging a series of career talks by various professionals. And I thought, why not ask Shashi to give a career talk on what's possible? And she gave a very inspiring 1-hour engagement with the students of Parikrama. And she even offered careers in optometry. She said that if you guys are willing to relocate and come to Masti Chak and Bihar, we can train you in optometry and we can give you jobs. That was also very inspiring for them.
I was very happy to hear about your program, even when you made that presentation in Singapore a few years ago. I was very, very impressed with the model that you adopted. So I have a few more questions about your, the coaching center for the girls. Like, what is the process by which you select them? And you just mentioned that out of the 400 in the program, 150 got employment. So how long does it take them to complete the program? And what happened? I imagine most of them or many of them do get absorbed in your own vision centers, but what happens to the others? What do you handhold them to get employment elsewhere?
Yeah, thank you for the question. So you see, in this, the way the football to eyeball program is designed is actually to make sure that the girl undergoes a journey of 6 years. So she is with us for 6 years. In the first 2 years, which is post the O levels, she will actually undergo training on English, computers, as well as basic optometry, life skills, personality development, etc. And thereafter, she undergoes a 4-year degree course in optometry, which actually is a vocational training program leading to guaranteed employment. So after 6 years, each and every girl is absorbed not only in the vision centers, but also in the surgical centers, because vision center is just one small aspect where surgeries are happening. So everywhere these girls are actually absorbed. So everyone gets employment in the program, in the girls program. As far as the coaching center is concerned, the coaching center is restarted recently to go to the really people who are at the bottom. So these girls are generally out of school, and they even they may not even know the alphabets correctly also. So these girls, what we're trying to do is to actually have them coaching in the morning sessions thrice a week, so that we can build up their core competence. The basic language structure is present with them. So what happens is that after they pass their O levels, at least they have a semblance of chance to come into the optometry education and join the program. So that is the objective of the coaching center, which has newly been started. But all girls will get employment, which is guaranteed for them. That is the bare minimum first level of financial independence. And thereafter, they can choose to, as Chhaya was talking about, doing her master's and then in MBA or optometry or developing as a faculty, etc. So they can go for higher careers, because the end goal of this football to eyeball girls program is not only to give them financial independence, but also to make sure that they come into leadership levels and develop as social change agents or role models for their society. Thank you.
I was very happy to hear about your program, even when you made that presentation in Singapore a few years ago. I was very, very impressed with the model that you adopted. So I have a few more questions about your, the coaching center for the girls. Like, what is the process by which you select them? And you just mentioned that out of the 400 in the program, 150 got employment. So how long does it take them to complete the program? And what happened? I imagine most of them or many of them do get absorbed in your own vision centers, but what happens to the others? What do you handhold them to get employment elsewhere?
Yeah, thank you for the question. So you see, in this, the way the football to eyeball program is designed is actually to make sure that the girl undergoes a journey of 6 years. So she is with us for 6 years. In the first 2 years, which is post the O levels, she will actually undergo training on English, computers, as well as basic optometry, life skills, personality development, etc. And thereafter, she undergoes a 4-year degree course in optometry, which actually is a vocational training program leading to guaranteed employment. So after 6 years, each and every girl is absorbed not only in the vision centers, but also in the surgical centers, because vision center is just one small aspect where surgeries are happening. So everywhere these girls are actually absorbed. So everyone gets employment in the program, in the girls program. As far as the coaching center is concerned, the coaching center is restarted recently to go to the really people who are at the bottom. So these girls are generally out of school, and they they may not even know the alphabets correctly also. So these girls, what we're trying to do is to actually have them coaching in the morning sessions thrice a week, so that we can build up their core competence. The basic language structure is present with them. So what happens is that after they pass their O levels, at least they have a semblance of chance to come into the optometry education and join the program. So that is the objective of the coaching center, which has newly been started. But all girls will get employment, which is guaranteed for them. That is the bare minimum first level of financial independence. And thereafter, they can choose to, as Chhaya was talking about, doing her master's and then in MBA or optometry or developing as a faculty, etc. So they can go for higher careers, because the end goal of this football to eyeball girls program is not only to give them financial independence, but also to make sure that they come into leadership levels and develop as social change agents or role models for their society. Thank you.
First of all, I want to congratulate Chhaya. It was a fantastic speech. And for me, it was a kind of validation that all the years which I've spent with the girls, the highest level of management level girls at Akhand Jyoti, I've been closely associated with them while they were doing their courses. And Anisha, your question about how they're educated and how they become what they are right now is actually they get a very, very holistic kind of nurturing at Akhand Jyoti. And one of the things I remember, which one of the very young girls who had not even finished her 12th, I asked her, what do you like about this place? So they said, खाना मिलता है, education मिलता है, पर सबसे बड़ी बात है, हमें प्यार मिलता है. You know, the fact that they are girls in a society like Bihar, they've grown up always feeling undervalued, and, it would have been better if they were not born, that kind of feeling. Most of the girls do carry, especially who are from an underprivileged background. So one thing that Akhand Jyoti, that's remarkable about Akhand Jyoti is that the girls are really on the top, and I'm sure the boys here feel a little jealous, because they've always complained that, they get too much of how, that's a very typical male thing to say. that girls getting bhau is something to complain about, while they've been hogging all the importance right through. So I think that's very important. And another point I'd like to bring here is that a couple of years back, one of the international donors, she was very worried that so many girls live in the hostel here and there's no matron, and she made a huge hue and cry, and she had quite a few stories to tell, that the hospital can get into trouble, one incident. So how are you monitoring the girls, So there has to be a matron. But remarkably, there's no matron structure at Akhand Jyoti. There's no such thing like, a regular attendance and the girls are being gated inside a complex, nothing like that. So the model is very simple, there is the senior girls mentor the ones which are below them. And mentoring is not just protecting them and giving them educational advice, but also the values of self-regulation. So which means that the girls know how to lead a safe life and with self-respect and dignity. And if these values are inculcated in them, you don't really need matrons or polices to kind of guard them and watch them, So till date, no such thing exists at Akhand Jyoti. And this is something that also needs to be talked about outside, that in a place like, even the social media engagement of all the girls, they're very active on the social media, but all the social media engagement is very responsible. And I think those are some of the things which the football to eyeball program has been able to achieve. Truly create girls who are really mature and like Chhaya mentioned in her last sentence, I remember, spiritually developed. You said that, Chhaya? Yeah, so this is another thing about Akhand Jyoti. The spirituality is not kind of put in a compartment as a personal matter as the Western view of looking at things normally is. I mean, spirituality is a way of leading a good life, which is meaningful to you as well as to your social context. So these are some of the things which are very difficult to talk about and write about. But when you go to Akhand Jyoti, you can see it around you, So I'm really, for me, it's been a great journey, being with Akhand Jyoti and all these lovely girls, I feel so happy when I come there, they are so fond and I'm so fond of them, and it's like coming home for me, So thanks, Jayesh.
Thank you, Dr. Sinha. That was, the Football to Eyeball is indeed a very unique program, and you have very beautifully highlighted some of the most heartwarming aspects of that program. I would like to invite further questions or comments, please. Okay, so if there is nothing else, I think from our side also hope this webinar was useful to give you a good overview of what has happened and what is going to happen at Akhand Jyoti. Please continue to engage with us in whatever manner you would like, and we'd be very happy to continue the association with all of you. Any closing remarks, Mritunjay, before we say goodbye to the guests?
Only one quick comment before Mritunjay says his last comments as well. I would very strongly encourage anyone who has not been to Mastichak to really come and see Mastichak personally. If you can spend a night there, that'd be amazing. But otherwise, you can go from any city in India to any other city in India or the same city within a day. Of course, it'll be slightly rushed. But if you want to truly experience the evening that Mala and Ramya were talking about, spend a night there, and I think it'll be truly heartwarming for you. Mritunjay?
Yeah, I would say is that we have been extremely fortunate to have people like all of you supporting us and engaging with us in this, I would say, continuous journey to not only eliminate blindness from India's poorest state, but also empower and make role models out of girls who would otherwise have been confined to their homes or married early. So this, I would request all of you to please reach out to more of your friends. If you can give us, it will be absolutely wonderful if you can give us leads. You can help us engage with more and more people who can partner with us, join with us, volunteer with us. But as Jayesh Bhai says, seeing is believing. I really, really request all of you, the next time you come to India or you are in India, please take a day off and come to Mastichak and experience actually what's happening in the lives of the patients you saw in the village and the lives of girls like Chhaya and Charu.
Thank you, Mritunjay, and thank you everyone for joining. We hope to do this reasonably regularly. So do join us during our next webinar and do visit Mastichak when you can. Thank you all very much. Wish you a nice rest of the weekend.